Okay. I'm gonna mute myself so I can eat.
about to find out with some improvisation and witty banter. You'll have no doubt that, yes, there really is an answer. Kalamazoo.
Good evening, Kalamazoo, and welcome to Yes, There Really Is an Answer, the show that's part game show, part improv theater, part talk show, and all Kalamazoo. I'm Bannon Backhus with Crawl Space Theater and Crawl Space Eviction, and I'll be hosting the show tonight. Thanks for tuning in for our third episode. Our longtime viewers have undoubtedly noticed that for this episode, not only do we have a theme song, but an original theme song made especially for Yes, There Really Is an Answer by the one and only Judd Gilbert of the improv troupe Family Secret. So a big thank you to Judd for creating that. And as an added bonus, we'll get to see some more of Judd very shortly. We hope that everyone is continuing to hang in there. And as always, a special thank you to all of you who are essential workers. Know that you're very much appreciated. Without a doubt, the pandemic has been difficult. And I know that that's led a lot of people to have a lot of questions that sometimes don't have answers. And despite being the host of a very, very successful game show, I'm no different. This whole situation has led to me asking a lot of questions that I haven't been able to have answered. So what I'd like to do is take a quick moment and quickly share the top 3 questions that I've had during the pandemic, just in case somebody is watching and is able to help me to find an answer. So my first question tends to sound a little philosophical, so I apologize, but why do I find myself planning an escape when the front door is not even locked? That's my first question. Here's my second question. Why does my neighbor Phil, who I know works at Meijer, which is 3.76 miles away from his home, spend an average 9 hours and 12 minutes away from home each day, when I know that he works 8-hour shifts and assuming a speed of 55 miles per hour going to and from his work should only be spending 8 hours and 6.9 minutes away from home on work days? What the hell is he doing during that additional 65.1 minutes? Not that I don't have anything better to do than keep tabs on my neighbors. And here's my last question. Why, every time my girlfriend gets me something to eat, does it taste like burnt almonds? And now let's introduce our contestants for tonight. As they come up on the board, tonight you're going to find, there they are. Give yourselves a huge round of applause, contestants. So good to see all of you. Tonight we have Tara Sytsma from Crawl Space Eviction. Give a wave, hi, Tara. And we have
Hi, Bannon.
Hi. And right below Tara, we have Judd Gilbert from Family Secret and the creator of that awesome theme show music. Thank you once again for that, Judd. And
no problem.
We also have Pete Maurer from Joyce to Men. Give a wave, hi, Pete. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Bannon.
Hi. Awesome. So what I'd like to do is just kind of see how all of you have been doing. And I'd like to ask all of you a question, and we'll start with Tara. And my question is not only how have you been doing, but have you been spending any time like catching up on a hobby that you used to do or pursuing a new hobby at all? Have you been?
Yeah, Bannon, first I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
And I've gotten back to bird watching. I'm not going to lie to you. We've seen really great birds in my backyard. I'm talking orioles. I'm talking wood ducks flying over.
Wow.
White-throated sparrows.
Watch your
yeah,
language.
Not a joke.
Okay. We actually just installed a bird bath for the first time this year. And
awesome.
I have no idea why it's so compelling to watch a bird bathe, but it is. And I don't even feel naughty about it.
Yep. You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, it's natural. Awesome. Well, thanks, Tara. And moving on to Judd. How have you been, Judd? And have you been catching up on any hobbies or pursuing any new hobbies?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks, Bannon. I have been doing a couple things. I've written a couple pieces that are just short works. I wrote a poem about ants, which really got my creative juices flowing.
And I will say you actually, we were having a phone call about something and you
Mhm.
actually read that to me and it was
Yes.
amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And in addition to writing some things, I've also been putting a lot of effort and time into a new art form I call dream diving, which is where in any given afternoon, I'll eat food or something that might cause me to have a nightmare.
Okay.
And then I proceed to have a nap and figure out, is this causing bad dreams? Because if so, I want to continue doing it. I enjoy my nightmares.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
Hmm.
So dream diving. So
Dream diving.
is that anything like nightmare waiting or
They're similar, but the subtle difference is with the food.
okay.
Hmm.
Well, maybe afterward you can share with us what foods work best.
I would be happy to.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm glad you're using your time productively. And last but not least, Pete, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks, Bannon. An activity that I've recently taken up is painting. I got to perfect my craft still, but it's something I'm working on, and it's fun to venture out of my room sometimes and escape to my living room and paint.
So, what are you currently working on right now? What kind of painting is it?
Well, it's a Back to the Future painting. I'm glad that you asked. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you have experience painting before this, and just kind of.
Oh no. Nope. Just got on YouTube. I needed something to do. I also cut off my hair. I'm getting cabin fever.
Yeah. Have you mixed the hair with the paint?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. We'll see what happens next week.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Pete. Well, it's so good to have all of you here tonight. So let's go ahead and explain the game for people who are tuning in for the first time. So each contestant is going to take turns answering questions about Kalamazoo, and there's going to be 6 questions total, each question worth 100 points. And we'll end the game with one final question that every contestant will answer, and that one is worth 3 big ones, 300 points. So look out for that white-throated Bobby question. And after the final question, we'll see who the winner is, and the contestant with the lowest score is going to serenade us with a verse from the timeless song, I've Got a Gal in Kalamazoo in a cappella style. So be sure to keep your eyes and ears open for that. Now, of course, our contestants have an improv background, so not only will they be trying to correctly answer each question, they'll have to answer those questions as a character, which I'm going to allow them to choose right now. So, Tara, the lovely Tara Sytsma from Crawl Space
Yes.
Addiction.
Yes.
Here are your 3 character choices, Tara. A park ranger
Nice.
that needs a friend,
Oh.
a narcissistic runner, or a talking deer.
Park ranger that needs a friend.
A park ranger that needs a friend. Awesome. And what is the name of your character, Tara?
Lila.
Lila. Lila. Awesome. All right. So Tara is a park ranger named Lila who needs a friend. Awesome. And moving on to Judd. Judd, your character choices are either an avid reader, a transatlantic explorer, or a middle-aged HVAC apprentice.
Oh, wow. I think I will have to go with the explorer. The transatlantic explorer. Yes.
Okay. And what is the name of your character going to be?
My name is Captain Feraldo.
Feraldo.
Yes.
Awesome. Captain Feraldo, the transatlantic explorer, will be played by Judd. All right. Awesome. And last but not least, Pete, your character choices are teenage grocery bagger, the guy everyone always sees everywhere, or ex-military.
I'm gonna have to go with the guy that everybody sees everywhere.
The guy that everybody sees everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what is your name?
Yes, my name is Richard Coffey.
Richard Coffey. Awesome. All right. So we have Tara Sytsma. She's going to be playing a park ranger who needs a friend. Her name is Lila. We have Judd Gilbert, who is a transatlantic explorer named Captain Feraldo. And Pete Maurer, who is the guy who everybody sees everywhere. And his name is Richard Coffey. So now that we have all of our characters established, let me give you some notice. So as a part of our program, you, the viewer, are going to have an opportunity to ask each of these characters any question that you'd like. So after the first round of questions, we'll be taking a short break for a Q&A. And Dan, who we like to call Dana White on this program, is working behind the scenes. And he's going to post any questions that you have for a character. So start commenting on those questions ASAP, and your question might get asked. And now, without further ado, let's get to the first question of this episode of Yes, There Really Is an Answer. And this question is for Lila. How are you doing, Lila?
Hi, Bannon. I'm doing good. I'm super excited to be on this game show. So excited.
Well, I'm so glad that
I actually came down. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Lila. I was actually gonna comment about you being kind of hard to get a hold of. I'm glad that you were able to finally get back to us. And as we just experienced, your connection is a little iffy. Where are you exactly?
I had to come down from the hills. I was on a research assignment.
Oh,
Bannon.
Okay.
Yes, I had to. Yep. So I just came down from the hills. And I've been looking up a particular warbler that's new. The three-sided warbler is really near and dear to my heart. And but I heard about this opportunity, and I thought, you know what? If there's one thing that's missing from my life, it's a person, another person, anybody, any person.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that it gets lonely up there in the hills.
It does.
And, I do some reading, and I do understand that the three-sided warbler doesn't appear for a large group of people. So it's a very isolated existence. I'm sorry to hear that, Lila.
That's all right. Some people believe that it does not even exist.
Please. That's what they said about murder hornets. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Now, let's get to our first question, Lila. Your question is, fill in the blank. In Kalamazoo County's village of Climax, the blank harvester was invented.
My.
Can you fill in the blank here, Lila?
I'm going to have to say soybean. I'm guessing soybean, Bannon.
Soybean harvester. Now, of course, soybeans are very important. Unfortunately, it is not soybean harvester. It is combine harvester.
Oh, combine
harvester, Lila.
I did my best.
No. I imagine you don't see a lot of them up there in the hills because they are very noisy.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Lila. And now we're going to move right along to our next contestant, who is Captain Feraldo. Captain Feraldo. Thank you for joining us, Captain.
Good. Thanks for having me, Bannon. I appreciate it.
Now, you were also, like Lila, a little bit hard to get a hold of. Can you shed any light on that, Captain?
Sure, Bannon. I've been exploring the seas for the last 2 years. Just got off back to the mainland just last week. I know that you tried to send me some mail with a bird post there, but I didn't get it. Mostly seagulls. The seagulls are ravenous. But I'm glad you finally did get in touch with me. Let's see. Over the last 2 years, I discovered 14 different islands.
14?
Mm-hmm. 14. And I named all of them.
Really? Mm-hmm. What was number 7?
That was named Island 7.
Island 7.
That's right.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
That's so unusual because when you think about the world, you think that it's been fully explored. There's nothing left to discover. I mean, you could do it with Google Earth, but you found 14 new islands.
That's right. That's an old wives' tale, by the way. There's always more land to find. Kids out there watching, there's always more land to find.
There's always more land to find. You just need to know where to look.
Correct.
Fascinating. Well, do you have any plans for what you're going to do next after spending 2 years exploring the open seas and oceans?
Well, I really just came back to the mainland to do this show
Oh, wow.
and to do my laundry, which it really gets stinky out there. But after my laundry's done, which I have plans to do tomorrow, I'll be heading right back out for another 2 years at least.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for putting on your last clean shirt for us here tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's only clean up here.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's the new normal. All right. Well, we're going to move on to question 2 with you, Captain. And that question is, what is the name of the largest microbrewery in Michigan?
I think I heard some folks talking about this at one of the ports I stopped at on my way over the last 2 years. Lots of talk about microbreweries in Michigan. It's really spreading across the globe.
That's
The name I think I remember hearing is Seaside Brewery.
Seaside Brewery. That's the
Right.
one that you heard a lot of.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Well, I'm sure it's a great brewery with some delicious brews, but unfortunately, the answer is
Oh,
Bell's Brewery.
of course.
Yep, Bell's Brewery. Do you have a bell on your ship, Captain?
Oh, I have 3 bells. 3 bells. Yep.
Interesting.
The lunch bell, the dinner bell, and the breakfast bell.
What do you do for snacks?
I don't really want to talk about our snack situation.
Yeah, that's understandable. And, that secret dies with the sea, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All
it
right.
does.
Well, thank you so much, Captain.
You're
And for our third question and final question of this round, so as a reminder to viewers, go ahead and submit any questions that you have for our guests so far. And this next question, question number 3, is for Richard Coffey. Richard Coffey, how are you doing, Richard?
Not too bad, Bannon. Just here to play the game, here to win. Please call me Mr. Coffee.
Oh, I apologize. You can still call me Bannon. That's all right. Mr. Coffey, you look really familiar.
Yep. I hear it all the time, Bannon.
Yes, I remember you. I was running late to the Yes There Really Is an Answer game show studio tonight, and you came out of nowhere and cut me off.
Sounds like me. Sounds like me, Bannon.
Yeah. Huh. Small world, isn't it?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like Captain Feraldo. I haven't seen everything, okay?
Right. No, that's understandable. Few of us are like Captain Feraldo. Well, Richard Coffey, question number 3 is for you. And that question is, according to the 2010 census, did Kalamazoo have a population of more or less than 75,000? How are you with numbers, Richard?
Good. I went to school for finance, so.
Oh, okay.
Feeling good.
Mm-hmm. What specific area of finance?
Just all of it.
Yeah. Why limit yourself?
You sound like my father, Bannon.
Yes, exactly. Why limit yourself? So yeah, that question again, and we'll get it up here in a second. Question 3. According to the 2010 census, did Kalamazoo have a population of more or less than 75,000?
Okay. Let me break this down real quick, Bannon. You can't do an equal to, right? It's more or less.
It is more or less. I promise you that. There's no fuzzy finance math, anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go more.
You're gonna go more. All
Why
right.
not?
Well, it's a good guess. You had a 50-50 chance. Of course, you being in finance, you knew
Finance,
that.
Yep.
But it was the wrong guess. The answer is less. According to the 2010 census, Kalamazoo had a population of 74,262. And I want to give you a little bit of a ribbing here, Richard. It might be going down if you continue to drive the way you do.
Oh, okay, Bannon. Okay, knock it off.
All right. Just a little friendly banter. Okay.
Okay.
So, after the end of our first round, Lila has 0 points. Captain Feraldo has 0 points. And Richard Coffey has, let's see here, carry the one, carry that, 0 points.
Very funny, Bannon.
0 points. So now we're halfway through our questions for the night. So we are going to start turning to our viewers and let them ask you, the contestants, any questions that they might have. And while we are getting those questions up there, while our own Dana White is doing that, I have to ask, does Richard Coffey look familiar to any one of you also?
Are you talking to us, Bannon?
Yeah. Captain Feraldo, Lila, does Richard Coffey look at all familiar to either of you?
Well, I was gonna say, although I only have one good eye, I did see him the other day. I thought it looked like him, but then again, so many guys I see look like that guy.
Okay.
He just looks. No offense, Mr. Coffey. But I swear I've seen him around somewhere. I think maybe when I was at the store buying some krill.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
You go to the krill shop very often, Mr. Coffey?
Yes, I do. I sometimes go out on my boat as well. It
wow.
It pleases me.
That's good to hear. Nice to hear us,
brothers.
Mm.
Well, we have our first question up, and it's for you, Captain Feraldo. Have you ever run into any pirates? That's a great question.
Well, it's actually against me code of being a captain to discuss pirates, but between you and me and the audience listening, I have, yes, and they weren't exactly the meanest people. I think pirates get a really bad rap.
Well, I mean, I think that's because of their reputation for forcibly taking things that belong to others, right?
Well, that's mostly the case, yes, but these pirates were very polite. They came aboard our ship. They asked very nicely if they could take our barrels. And I said, you know what? Courtesy's not dead. I gave them a few of my barrels, and they were off on their way.
Speaking of your ship, I wanted to ask you a question. I was doing my research before the show, and I saw that the name of your ship is Krill the Conqueror. I was just wondering where you got that name from, Krill the Conqueror.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was laying on my bow of my ship one night, looking up at the stars.
Yeah.
And the stars just started moving and shaping themselves into different patterns in the sky. And then all of a sudden, I saw it. Krill, the Conqueror, spelled out in the stars.
That's extraordinary.
And if that, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lila, it seems like you probably are able to do quite a bit of stargazing where you are, because there's probably not a lot of light pollution, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm able to do so much stargazing up in the hills where I work as park ranger. Yes.
All alone.
And during Captain Feraldo's last story, I just realized, Captain Feraldo, you led my first ever exhibition. You're the one that taught me everything I know about stars and nature. I can't even believe I didn't even recognize you at first.
Oh, is it little Lila? Oh, goodness, dearie. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
Oh, you have grown so.
I know.
Incredible. Well, so you took her under your wing, Captain Feraldo, and taught her about the night sky.
Thank you.
It was a free seminar I was giving at the
That's right. You sure did.
Yes. It was during a bad period in my life when I thought reaching out to youngsters to teach them constellations and such would be helpful to me and my soul. And turns out I raised a lovely young park ranger. So good to see you, my dear.
You sure did. I'm super, super, super excited. And Richard, I know I recognize you from somewhere. I feel like I see you everywhere.
Okay.
He just has one of those faces.
Yep, I get it a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
He just does.
Now, Mr. Coffee, this next question comes from Tanya Rowland, and her question to you is, which McDonald's nugget shape is your favorite? Misshapen oval or boot?
Okay. And there is a correct answer, correct, Bannon?
Well, we're not playing this for points, Mr. Coffee. This is purely as a way for the audience to better get to know you.
Okay, Bannon, I'm going to do misshapen oval.
Good, Mr. Coffee. And would it make you feel better if I assigned you some fake points for that?
Yes.
Okay, 100 fake points. Yes.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Wow. I haven't smiled like this in a while. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Our next question comes from Meredith Frank, and it's for Lila. Lila, what's your favorite woodland creature?
Oh, man. It's a really good question. I'd have to go Wolverine. I've been in some pretty deep, I've been in some pretty deep woods at some points.
Now,
and I'm going Wolverine on this one.
I would think that the Wolverine would be a predator of the birds that you're currently studying. Is that not the case?
No, that's absolutely true. It's a fierce carnivore. Do I respect them? Yes, I do. Will they eat your face? Yes, they would. If you were sleeping, they would eat your face. So I think it's respect, love kind of a thing that I have going on for Wolverines. So that's just my first answer. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's so big of you to look beyond all of that danger and predation and them trying to hunt the very animal that you've sacrificed your social life to study and still consider it a favorite. Good on you.
Thank you. Wow. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did this show.
Yeah. So are we.
Good.
All right. Well, we're about ready to get back to the game. But before we do, I'd like to remind our viewers to please support Crawl Space Theater Productions by purchasing e-gift cards on our website. They're a great way to get ready for our live shows or for our classes. And speaking of classes, Dan and Tara Sytsma are currently accepting enrollment for a series of virtual classes that focus on two-person improv scenes. And those classes begin in a little over a week on Monday, May 18th. So be sure to visit crawlspacetheater.com or Crawl Space Theater Productions on Facebook for more information on that. It's going to be a great workshop, and they're great teachers for two-person improv form. So let's get back to Yes, There Really Is an Answer. And we're going to get back to the game with question 4. And this one is for you, Lila.
Oh, man.
It is very much a question about nature.
Oh.
And that question is, in what year did an F3 tornado touch down in downtown Kalamazoo?
Man, that is an excellent question, Bannon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to guess right before I decided to go up into the hills to do my research. I'm going to guess 1988.
Ooh, so close. On the plus side, that was the year of a Mercury Grand Marquis that I used to own, but the correct answer is 1980.
Oh man, I was almost close.
Yeah, you were in the right decade. You know, there's a random question that I've always wondered about birds and tornadoes. Can a bird fly through a tornado right into the center of it?
If it had enough motivation, yes. I did my doctoral thesis on that. Yes.
Birds.
With enough motivation, a bird can do just about anything. Anything.
That's fantastic. And it sounds a lot like
That's right.
The next contestant up, Captain Feraldo. Speaking of motivation,
Right.
Captain Feraldo, are you ready for question 5, sir?
Hey,
All right. Captain Feraldo, your question is, what is the name of the zoo that was located in Kalamazoo and closed in 1974? And I cannot say whether or not this zoo had any sort of aquatic exhibits or not.
I see. Well, you hear lots of things about Kalamazoo when you're out in the waters and stopping port to port to port.
Yeah.
And I believe I heard the answer to this question as well.
Okay.
That would be the Plank Zoo.
The Plank Zoo
The Plank Zoo.
with that famous advertising slogan, "Come and walk the plank and see
Correct.
animals."
Yes, that's the one.
It is a great zoo. Unfortunately, it's not the zoo that we're looking for. The correct answer was the Milam Park Zoo.
So close.
Park Zoo. You were very close. It was also a zoo. All right. Moving on to contestant 3 with question number 6. This one goes to you, Mr. Coffee. And Mr. Coffee, it seems like I see you everywhere. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. The following heavily distorted picture shows something that is located in Kalamazoo. So, Mr. Coffee, I need you to tell me what this distorted picture is a picture of. And there is that picture right now, Mr. Coffee.
Okay. I get it. It's distorted. I don't have my glasses. It's Kalamazoo ophthalmology.
Kalamazoo ophthalmology. Oh, a very good guess, Mr. Coffee.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it's a different Kalamazoo something. It's the Kalamazoo Transportation Center. The Kalamazoo Transportation Center. And oddly enough, I want to say that if you look at that picture long enough, you can see you standing in the background. I don't know. Weird. All right. At the end of our final round, Lila, you have 0 points, or as maybe you like to call it, the big goose egg. Captain Feraldo, you have 0 points, or as you might like to call it, the number of women on your ship.
Nice.
And Mr. Coffee, you have 0 points. The score that you probably got on your first driver's training exam. So that makes this last question very, very important. And this is a question that we like to call Kalamazoo, Portage, or blank. And the blank for this round is Accident, Maryland. Accident, Maryland. All right. And here is your question. John Hanson Jr., who would later become a delegate to the Continental Congress, surveyed the land that is now a part of either Kalamazoo, Portage, or Accident, Maryland. Go ahead and write down the name of the correct location on your paper right now. And I'll go ahead and reread the question while you do that. John Hanson Jr., who would later become a delegate to the Continental Congress, surveyed the land that is now a part of either Kalamazoo, Portage, or Accident, Maryland. And while you're writing down your answers, I would just like to quickly remind everyone to be sure to stay tuned for another edition of Yes, There Really Is an Answer next week, Friday, and to stay up to date on all things Crawl Space Theater by following Crawl Space Theater Productions on Facebook. And also be sure to sign up for our email updates. As always, we promise not to spam you. And if local game shows and the type have suddenly become your thing, be sure to check out Farmer's Alley. They've been presenting game shows and other live events. So check out the Farmer's Alley Facebook page for those details. And it looks like all of the contestants are ready. So we will go ahead and start with you, Lila. What was your answer, Lila? And take us through your thought process. Kalamazoo.
All right, I went with Kalamazoo, Bannon. I'm a native of Kalamazoo, and I've been taught if ever that's a choice, you go with your gut, you go with where you're from and what you believe. So that's what I guess for that one, and why. A little bit about me, Kalamazoo.
Uh-huh. And I admire everything about what you just said, except for the answer that you gave. Unfortunately, Kalamazoo is not the right answer, Lila. But thank you so
That
much.
makes me sad.
I'm sorry,
All right.
Lila. I'm sorry. All right. Let's move on to Captain Feraldo. Permission to come aboard and see what your answer is, Captain?
Aye, come aboard, Bannon. Here's my answer.
All right. Accident. Your answer was accident. And Captain, you gave the right answer. It was accident.
Whoa!
100 points for you, Captain. Nicely done.
Hooray!
Nicely done. No walking the plank for you.
That's right.
All right. And last but not least, we have Mr. Coffee.
Thank you.
Coffee, go ahead and give us your answer and explain a little bit about your thought process, if you would.
Okay. As you see, I wagered my 100 that you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
I put Portage. You know, a lot of people say they see me around the area. If I can brag a little bit, Bannon, is that okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have the floor.
Okay, I think I've seen him. Okay, the guy who found Portage. Locked in. Final answer.
Okay. Well, as we already discussed, Portage is the wrong answer. And
okay.
Sorry, though those 100 points were imaginary, I will have to take them back because you did wager them fair and square. So that leaves us with final scores: Lila at 0, Captain Feraldo with 300, and Mr. Coffee with not even an imaginary point to his name at 0 points. And of course, that means that Lila and Mr. Coffee are going to be serenading us with an a cappella verse from that classic song, I've Got a Gal in Kalamazoo. Now, being that the two of you are going to be singing this together, should we go ahead and sing the first verse?
Sure. I think that's a good idea, Bannon. We'll sing the first verse.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Coffee?
Yep.
All right. And
right.
while you're doing that, Captain Feraldo and myself are going to support you by acting as though this is the most amazing rendition of I've Got a Gal in Kalamazoo that we've ever heard. So I am going to count you down and you will take it away in 3, 2, 1, go for it.
A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G.
I got a
gal
in Kalamazoo. Don't want to boast,
but I know she's the toast
of Kalamazoo.
Zoo.
Yes.
Huge round of applause. Great job.
Wow.
Oh, you brought Captain Feraldo to tears.
This is so beautiful.
He does this. He gets emotional.
Oh, really? So it sounds like maybe this brings back some sort of strong memory for Captain Feraldo.
Yes, it sure does.
Okay.
My old dog used to sing to me in my sleep. He did such a howling job of it. I haven't heard voices like that in weeks.
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm sorry, Captain Feraldo. But I'm not sorry that you, Lila, and Mr. Coffee were guests here tonight on Yes, There Really Is an Answer. So before we go, I would just like to thank all of my contestants, everyone watching, everyone a part of Crawl Space Theater. And be sure to continue to take care of yourselves. And remember to help control the bat population. Have your bats spayed or neutered. Good night, everybody.
out to find out with some improvisation and witty banter. You'll have no doubt that, yes, there really is an answer. Kalamazoo.